What's up, everybody? It's Brian from USA.Patriot.Cards, and today I want to share my experience at the Dallas Card Show that just took place last weekend. And I will start off by saying that I had a great show. We went Friday, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday, and every day was awesome. I actually got to spend the night on Saturday this time and go to trade night, which was fairly uneventful for me. I actually was pretty tired that night. But man, did we not have fun. And when I say we, I mean me and my friend Josh. We are local here to Dallas, so we like to, if we can, get a room, every time the Dallas Car Show comes around and spend the night Saturday night so that we can make a full weekend out of it, go all day Saturday and then all night, to trade night, spend the night. And it's really nice to just hit that trade floor on Sunday morning. Without having to get in your car, without having to, kiss the wife and the kids goodbye and make my way over to the hotel. It's just out of bed, shoes on, and I'm trading cards. So let me get into what I got. I will say a few things before I start. The hobby was alive and well, I guess, obviously. Friday night was a little light just because we had some bad weather, but Saturday was banging. Saturday night was really, really banging. I left pretty early Sunday, about noon. But all in all, I felt like people were buying, they were selling, they were trading. I did notice that a lot of the dealers had more vintage, and it seemed like people were asking about the vintage more often. And I mean young kids, like, 25 and under, asking about vintage stuff, which I'm not a vintage guy, so it's not really something that I've ever noticed before, but I have sort of heard people start to say that with the modern stuff, it's kind of volatile and you're not, as safe in it maybe as you would be in the vintage. And so people have been moving into vintage. That's not why I collect. I mean, trust me, I'd love to have a nice Hank Aaron or Mickey Mantle just like anybody else, but I collect because I love watching these guys play, and I love cheering for them. I love rooting for them. I love all that stuff. So it's sort of like a live fantasy team for me. And Mickey Mantle doesn't play baseball anymore. So as much as I'd love to have a nice Mickey Mantle, I'm not going to spend money on one, at least not yet, when I'm still watching these guys play and have fun doing that. So I'll start sort of in chronological order. The first thing I did was walk in and saw a guy that had a bunch of dollar boxes and white boxes out, not necessarily dollar cards, but just cards in shoe boxes, and he had them all sorted out by players. And if you know me, you know I love Bobby Witt. He's a local guy. I love collecting local guys, and I saw this is out of Archives 2020, I believe. 2020, and it's out of 50. And it's a rookie. There's the number right there. And I'm going to grade this baby. Paid $45 for it, which is a little less than comps have been going. It was a good deal. Visited with the older guy who sold this to me for a little bit, which was nice. And then I scooted on out, and the next pickup I had was this. This is a 2017 Panini Crown Royal Dirk Nowitzki Pacific Marquee. So if you know anything about Crown Royal, they have different short print subsets. This one being the Pacific Marquee, and I'm not sure. I looked online for what the pack odds for pulling a Pacific Marquee are, and I really couldn't find it. All I found was that it is a super short print insert, and that these are going for about $200 in a 10, the Dirks, and I got this for about 160. So I was happy with that. I just like anything Dirk. I like Crown Royal. I like rare inserts, so this made sense for me. And at the same table, I got to pick this up. This is awesome. Now I think I got a steal on this one. So I think the last comp on this was around 250 back in September, and Pollard is coming off one of the his best games, maybe his breakout game last week. The Cowboys had a bye this week, and so I think his stuff is definitely ticking up. So to get this in on a September comp, and I got it for $200, so I got it for less than that comp. And I have a CD Lamb White Sparkle, so thought I'd pair that up with the CD Lamb. And I also am looking for next is a Trayvon Diggs. If I could find a Trayvon Diggs White Sparkle in a 10, that would be cool. But for $200, I mean, how could you not pick that up? Next, what did I pick up next? Let's see here. I guess the next pickup was this. This is a big boy. I had this targeted actually. I've been wanting to get one of these first year mosaic Luka blues. It's unnumbered, but it's a shorter print. The silver is the base version. I think they have a green one too, but this is a color match blue. These do about anywhere between 27 and like 32, depending on whether it's an auction or buy it now. But as you know, if you've been following the NBA at all, Luka's on a tear. I think he scored 30 points in every game this season so far. So his stuff is I would definitely suspect that his stuff has an arrow up. I haven't done the data crunch on that, but how could it not? Even if it stayed flat while the rest of the market came down, that's still an up arrow. So I picked this up. I think I got a great deal on it. I traded a green Jason Tatum rookie Prism color match, the green PSA 10, which the last two comps on that were like 26.50 and 27.50, and I added 175 cash, so I got to about like 2,900 on this, which I thought was well within where I wanted to be. The guy was a little hesitant, but he loved that Tatum so much. And the thing that sealed the deal for me on this was I checked my slabs. What I always do is I check comps, especially with a card that I'm selling. I'll check comps, right? And then I'll go on eBay and my slabs and see what's the cheapest one you could get right now. All right, because that's essentially a comp. If I can go out and buy one for X amount of dollars, then that's a comp. So I saw that there were several on my slabs of the green Tatums. Speaking of the green Tatums, we were comping mine at about 2,700, but there were 2 or 3 on my slabs that were 2,500 or best offer. He never checked that, so I'm assuming that a 2,500 or best offer would take $2,200, maybe 2,300. So if we use that as a comp, even 2,300, and I paid 175, I got this around for right at or a little less than 2,500. So I thought that was a no-brainer. I saw a couple more of these at the show. It's a Pop 36 card, and everybody had 3,500 or best, or just 3,500. I'm assuming or best. This guy had 3,700 on his. So to get it at around 2,500 and only having to move 175 in cash for a card that I have been seeking out, it's a no-brainer. I used to have 4 of those, 3 or 4 of those green Tatums. Now I have none. I've traded them all away. But moving into Luka is definitely something I want to do, so I didn't have any problem doing that. The last pickup on Friday night for me was this 2014-15 National Treasures Julius Randle. Look at that patch. Amazing patch. Now, I'll tell you why I bought this. Some people will be like, why are you picking up Julius Randle? First of all, I like Julius Randle. I think he's a good player. I have a lot of Jalen Brunson, so I watch the Knicks a lot. And like I was talking about earlier with why I don't collect vintage, I like to watch the players I collect. And so as I've been watching the Knicks with Brunson, I've kind of been intrigued by by Randle. And to top it off, he's from Plano. He played high school basketball at Prestonwood Baptist, which is in Plano, which is about 15 minutes south of here. And so I like to collect. I have a little, corner of my collection that's just local guys to Dallas Fort Worth, and that's why I'm such a Bobby Witt nerd. It's because he's local, he's good. I like the Royals, so I've gone pretty deep on Bobby Witt stuff. But yeah, I wanted a nice Julius Randle, and I wanted to get a national treasure. He's so cheap that it didn't make sense trying to get a Prism or something like that. I'm just like, let me check and see what these national treasures are doing and see if I can make one happen. So this was actually another goal I had. The week before the show, I was actually searching on eBay for Julius Randle national treasures, and they're priced in the 2000s, which is, I think there's a 9 out there that is 900 or best offer. But I got this for 640. Which was a little higher than the last comp, but he wasn't going to move it for anything less than that. I think the last comp was around 550. I don't think it had as nice a patch as this does. And the subgrades are pretty good. There's 1 9, but there's 2 9.5s and a 10. So, yeah, I was happy to pick this up. Back in the day, I know this did sell in the $2,000 and $3,000 range. So, buying this at the bottom, and he's only 28. He averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds last year. So I mean, he's a starter in the NBA. He scores. It's no brainer for me. All right, so that was Friday and Saturday. What did I do first on Saturday? Let's see here. Okay, this was my first pickup on Saturday. Again, local. This Kerry Wood 2003 Topps Chrome X Fractor is out of 50, so 7 out of 50. It is his 5th year card, but it's so pretty. It's a pop 1. It's a blue color match with the Cubs. Kerry Wood is from Irving. I have a lot of friends that actually played against him growing up. I didn't. I'm a little older than he is, but this is just too cool. I love Kerry Wood. He's somebody that I've been looking for a nice piece. I kind of wanted to get like an auto or something of his, and then this Topps Chrome color match popped up. It was $100, which is exactly what the last comp was, which was this card because it's a pop 1. The dealer that sold me this, I wish I had his name so I could shout him out, but he was super cool. He had a lot of really cool baseball, Topps Chrome, early 2000s baseball. But he was like, I've enjoyed this card for a while, and I paid $100 for it. So, if you want it for $100, I'll do it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it off your hands for some time being. So I picked this up. That was cool. The next pickup on Saturday was this Harrison Bader. Maybe I should put this over so I don't give away. This Harrison Bader is just beautiful. I mean, if you watch the postseason, you know how great of a postseason Harrison Bader had playing center field for the Yankees. He's from New York. He loves being up there playing for the Yankees. He's a little old. He's 28 or 27 years old to be, starting to collect. But I got this for $300. The last comp on this card, it's a short print, variation to 25. You can see that. In the middle of the postseason, this did 300 raw. Okay, and he hit 4 or 5 home runs in the postseason combined. So hopefully he's found a home in New York City and Yankee Stadium in center field, and hopefully I can enjoy watching him play there for the next couple of seasons. But for $300 at PSA 10 variation short print 25 auto center field starter for the Yankees, I mean, you can't argue that. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. And the guy that sold it to me, his buddy was sitting down behind him. He's like, "Nice buy." I was like, "Thank you." So, very happy with that. out of all these cards, I think my son was most excited to see this. He's a huge Yankee fan, so that was um, that was Saturday night, and then let's see. I guess the next purchase was this one first. This is a Maxi Kleba Noir game used. Got it for 40 bucks, but it's on card. It's 4 out of 40. You never, ever, ever see any Maxi Kleba stuff. Um, I think if this were to be, I think I could put 100 bucks or best offer on this on eBay and probably get 60 to 80 bucks for it. Just because Mavericks fans are so like passionate. And if you're a Maverick fan, you know how good Maxi Kleber is. He plays great defense, shoots the three. He can get really streaky. He can get really cold. But he's a starter for my favorite team. And this is just a cool game-worn patch, 3 colors. Nice, clean auto, 40 bucks. Can't beat it. So I picked that up, and then I picked this up to go with it. Now, the reason I picked up this Porzingis, even though he's moved on, he's no longer a Mav, is because of the Luka. Let me see if I have that handy. I wanted to pair this. Now I need a Dirk. But I wanted to pair this premium edition with this premium edition. I believe they're from the same. No, let's see. This is a. Well, this can't be. This has to be from 2019. I mean, but they look. It looks exactly like. It looks exactly the same. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This has this world. So this is 2018 Luka's rookie year, and this is 2019. But yeah, nice patch. It's a Knicks patch, clearly, but it's game worn. Being a veteran, it's a game worn patch, on card auto, clean auto. I just love these immaculate premium edition slabs or cards. I love the script that they used for these. I know that's just something simple, but I just love it. I love the gold accents that they have. Well, now that I say that, man, this is going to bother me. Sorry. This is the 2019, and this is the 2018. They look exactly the friggin' same. I'm going to have to do more research. Because I know that Porzingis wasn't there his rookie year. I mean, I know that for a fact. I guess they just stayed with the same on these premium edition ones. But it's pretty cool too how it kind of mirrors the Luka. So yeah, man, that's just too cool. So I had to pick this up. This was 80 bucks. 80 bucks. This was about 18,000. So I mean, there's a slight difference there. But they look good together. I got these two from the same guy. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. Let's see. Next on Saturday night, I guess this is not my last pickup. I got this for 20 bucks. I like to get cards from my childhood, cards that I collected when I was younger, in 9s. Just because I don't need them in 10s. They're just for a PC. They're just to remember, so I'm not going to pay a premium. I'll just take the 9, which sometimes, I mean, the reason this is a 9 is the centering on the back. It's a sharp card otherwise. Sharp corners, great centering on the front. It's, probably 80-20 left to right here on the back, but so what? I think a 10 is probably 200 bucks, and I got this for 20 bucks. So happy to have this. Happy to add this to my 80s and 90s stash. Happy with that pickup. The next one on Saturday night, was this one. This was the last one because I didn't pick up anything during the trade night. So this happened right as the show was closing on Saturday around 6 o'clock. It's a Blue Ice Anthony Simons Prism rookie, and this one's out of 99, 7 out of 99. I love, love, love Blue Ice basketball Prism. I just love it. It's my favorite. My goal is to get the Luka. I know a friend that has one. He wants money, and I probably couldn't get there with money. I'd have to trade, but I definitely could get there with trades. But anyway, this was cheap. This was $600, right around comps, I think, maybe a little less. But I love Anthony Simons. I think he's a great buy. He's a high school to NBA, straight to NBA guy, drafted back in 2018. Yeah, it was either this. The guy also had a checkerboard optic PSA 10. He wanted 400 for it, and that was cool. But I love the. Like I said, I'm the blue ice king. My friend calls me, and not because I have any great blue ice, just because I love it so much. You know the Ice King from Adventure Time. Yeah, so that was cool. He's hurt right now with a foot injury, but he's been balling this season so far. And so that was it. And we, like I said, we went to bed early on Saturday night just because, well, the power at the hotel went off. We went up after the show into our room and just kind of stretched out. The World Series was about to start. We were just kind of like talking about the show and regrouping, and then our power went out, and we waited for it to come back on, and it never came back. Well, it didn't come back on for a long time, so like 20 minutes. We called down to the front desk, and they were like, "Yeah, sorry, it's the hotel and it's the block, it's the whole block, like the apartments across the street were out, the restaurants across the other street were out." So we were like, "What is this?" So we decided to go get something to eat, which we did. We came back about an hour later, and they were on. Trade night was going. That whole Starlight room was full, and people were lined up and down the hallways with tables, and tons of people out. It was a buzz. I mean, everybody was wheeling and dealing. It was great. And we stayed down there probably till about 12:30, and it was a fallback. At 2 o'clock, the clocks went back to 1, so that was nice. That was great. Actually, really needed that extra hour. But I talked to a guy about a deal. He had a horizontal 2020 Mahomes stained glass PSA 10, but he wanted my fast break blue John Morant PSA 10. The comps were a little my way. He said he'd close the gap with like $300 or $400 cash, but man, that jaw used to be about 6-7K, and I just can't trade it for a non-rookie insert as much as I love Mahomes. I'd rather have the Morant rookie color match, albeit a poor man's color match, which is the fast break. But anyway, went to bed early, woke up Sunday, went and grabbed a free breakfast at the hotel, which was nice, and then went into the showroom, and I was giving myself a noon deadline to be out because my wife was at home with our dogs and my son, and needs a little help. It was football Sunday as well. And so on my way out, I ran into this table that had what I'm about to show you. And I was like, wow, so like, where are you on that? And he told me, and I knew I couldn't get there in cash, but I was like, would you like to take a look at, what I have? And so he took a look at what I had, and this is the trade we made. So I gave him this Mahomes. Well, let me first just let you marvel at the spectacle. The white sparkle 2018-19 Donruss Optic Luka Doncic rated rookie. There are no 9s. I'm sorry. This is a 9. There are no 10s, and there are no 9.5s. 9 is the highest that this card has been given, whether it be BGS, PSA, or SGC. Now, you can argue with me all you want about resale value and about PSA being king on the block and all that stuff. SGC has been notoriously the hardest grader when it comes to grading. As far as like not missing things, not you get an SGC 8.5 one day and you crack it and resub and it comes back a 9 or a 9.5. Like there's less stories of that happening with SGC than there are with PSA and Beckett. So although some people aren't fans of SGC, and although some people would want to crack this immediately and resub it, I'm going to leave it as is, because to me this is the highest graded copy out there. Like I said, there's no 9.5s, there's no 10s. This is a 9, and what is considered to be a very, very accurate grader, SGC. And I'm normally not like somebody that's going out and buying a bunch of SGC stuff, but this is a Luka Optic White Sparkle. I mean, this is so short print, and this is such an iconic card for me that it almost doesn't matter who the grader is, as long as it's one of the top 3. Leave a comment down below what you would do if this was, like I said, it's a PC card. I'm not looking to sell it. Not looking to trade it. I'm just looking to keep it. So I just don't want to take the chance that if I cracked it and subbed it to PSA and it got an 8 for whatever reason. It looks great. But let's just say it did, and then I got it back, and I'm like, well, I know SGC will give it a 9. Let me just crack it and resub. What if it didn't? What if it got an 8.5? Or what if it got an 8? I think the fact that there are no 9.5s and there's no 10s makes me content just to leave it in this slab as a 9. But anyway, so I got this for the NT Futures 2017 Pat Mahomes rookie auto. PSA 9 that you see in this picture here. So the way we got to this trade was the last, and mind you, he was using PSA 9 comps, okay, because there is no SGC 9 comp. And there might be some formula out there that says SGC 9s do 80% of PSA 9s or whatever, but he wasn't going to do that for this card, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't do that. If I was going to move this, I'd use a PSA 9 comp. It's a white sparkle. Like, go find another one. It's a 9 of a very reputable grading company. So, yeah, you're not going to get the PSA to SGC discount on a card like this. So anyway, the last comp was a PSA 9 that did 6250, and it was back in like July, I believe. But he said he didn't like to use best offer comps when he was looking at my Mahomes. And so he sort of had to use an auction, that last auction comp on this, because he was asking to use the last auction comp on my Mahomes. So the last auction was, again, back in July or June of 2022. It was right after, I believe it was right after they lost in the Western Conference Finals. And I think it did like 55-20 or 56-20, something like that. So there hasn't been a sale of this card since right after they got beat in the Western Conference Finals. This is a longer video. I'm sorry. I see I'm approaching about 30 minutes, but hopefully, you guys are in the background prepping cards or driving or whatever you do, laying down in bed and looking for Dallas Card Show content. But I say all that to say that, like, this was unexpected. It was last minute. It was walking out the door type deal, and it just was a big old cherry on top of my weekend. He was from the Kansas City area, and actually he had an offer, a $5,500 cash offer for this. And he said he turned down cash because he wanted a big Mahomes. He said that one of his goals at this show, come down to Dallas, was to pick up a big Mahomes, and he hadn't done that yet. And here I come with my case. I wanted to pick up a big Luka. It was like destiny. It was like the universe just brought us together. But the final deal ended up being the Mahomes for this and $1,200 cash. So with that cash, I was able to sort of offset some of the money that I spent on this stack here. But I was willing to move that Mahomes because, believe it or not, those future, that like subset of national treasures, for whatever reason, doesn't do well. The hobby doesn't like them. There are 9 other 9s of that Mahomes. It's short print to 25. Mine had a 9, but there are 9 other 9s. So it wasn't like mine was like, one of the high. It is one of the higher grades, but it's like there's company there. There's 9 other ones. So it wasn't like I had a premium on the grade, although it was it was a beautiful card. And the way it's set in the PSA holder with the red and white, and the Chiefs red and white, it was gorgeous. He loved it. And you know what? I love trading with people like that. Right after we did the deal, he's like, hold on, I'll be right back. I got to go rub this in somebody's face. And he like ran like out of his booth and down, the rows of the show and like showed it to his friend. But he was stoked. I was stoked. At first he was talking about just an even trade. And I wouldn't have done that, but I think I would have maybe taken 500. And shout out to my friend Josh. He was sort of helping negotiate the deal. And he's like, well, how about the Luka in 2,500? And his reaction, I thought, would be like, oh, no. And it was more like, I don't know. So then I was like, I think I could get more than 5. And then he said, I was thinking more like 1,000, which I'd have been happy with 1,000. But instead of saying meet me in the middle at 15, I just was like, dude, if I can get extra like $200 out of this, I'll take it. So I said, how about this? The Mahomes in 1,200. And he thought about it for a minute and he goes, well, I'm not going to lose the deal over $200. And he shook my hand. So sometimes, even though you maybe I could have sweated him all the way to 15, maybe I could have sweated him to 13, 14. Sometimes it's better just to, grab your like $200 or $300 extra bucks and just like call it a day. I knew I'd be happy with 1,200. Like I said, I really truthfully been happy with 500, but to get like most of the money that I spent back on the show and to grab this, and I was looking to find a new home for that Mahomes. I have so many amazing Mahomes that it was okay for me to let that one go. But that's my Dallas card show story. Yeah, I got more little smaller videos I'm going to make talking about like just different things through the weekend. But this is my overview. It was a great show. The next one is in Arlington in December. It's a much smaller show, but it's a show nonetheless. So I'll be going to that one. But until January, and the next Dallas card show rolls out right before the NFL playoffs. Until then, y'all be good. Happy collecting. Thank you for watching. It's now into the 34th minute. Hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making it. And as always, get down to Dallas if you can. It's an amazing show. Lots of amazing people and lots of amazing cards. Until next time, it's USAPatriot.cards signing off. See ya.